Kodash, 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 Adonai, Elohim, Sabayah, meaning holy, 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 Lord of hosts. Also could be said as a mantra, removing any negative energy from the evil inclination and ions from out the atmosphere within the ether within your aurora. You know, it is the prayer that the angels sing day and night to the Most High as well. Yah-Heh Vah-Heh. Those 4 syllables can also be said as a sound vibrational frequency as well as a mantra. They hold a lot of power, you know. Yah-Heh Vah-Heh signifies the tetragrammaton. The tetragrammaton as a collective whole, you know. Those 4 syllables, people get the name Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh. And those 4 syllables, the first Yah signifies a divine masculine, the Father who art in heaven, Abba, the architect of the universe. Hey signifies a divine feminine, which is Mother Nature, Mother Earth, the womb of the earth where mankind was created, shaped, and molded. Now back to Va, which is a divine masculine, which is mankind itself. That's why in the Bible it says, in the beginning Elohim said, let us create them in our image. Keywords in that passage: us in our image. Elohim is plural. It means more than one. That is a big factor in that passage, you know. And in the Anunnaki text, it doesn't say Elohim, it says Elohim. So the children of the Allah hum, you could say it like hum, like a sound vibration, you know, as well as, you know, the book of Genesis, also in Hebrew is Bereshith, but in the Nunkai text it says the generations of Isis, or the genealogy of Isis, you know. And it goes back to Netar, you know, Netaru. And back to the last Hey, which is a divine feminine, like the first Hey in Yah-Heh Vah-Heh, but this one signifies mother wisdom, you know. On the Hebrew Sephiroths and Tree of Life, you know, you have 10 pillars that signify the body, you know, Kether, Chokmah, Benai, Gedula, Jibra, Tiferet, Netzach, Ha, Yisad, Malkuth. Malkuth signifies the kingdom. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. In the human body, the temple, the host, or the vessel, as you can call it, you know. And Chokmah is wisdom, mother wisdom, which would go to Ana Chokmah. Ana, like I said before, it sounds like a new Elianel is how you say the Most High, you know. So those 10 Sephiroths are on the Hebrew Tree of Life, you know. When I say that we are the host, you have to look at yourself as a device. You are a device, you know. You are, your host is inhabited by spirit, you know. Spirit is your energy force, you know. In the book of 9 Ether, it says that the spirit is housed in the blood. The blood is and the DNA, and the blood, just like when you go to blood bank, like I always say, they extract the plasma from your blood. Believe it or not, as above so below, plasma comes from the sun, you know, and it reflects down here on the host, you know. It's the central star in our universe, and, you know, and what I'm saying is, look at yourself as a device, you know. When you have a computer, a cell phone, you know, it's just a device, right? But it's also, in order to connect to the collective consciousness, which I would call apps, internet, you know, and different things, you need Wi-Fi. So the ether is Wi-Fi. it's above and it's below, you know. Ether, you know, it is the breath of life. You know, that's when it says that the Most High breathed the breath of life. He molded mankind from the dirt within the earth, the womb, you know, a circle 360 degrees, which signifies 9, which also correlates with 270 days in which a woman carries a child, and 2 and 7 will equal 9. And then it also is exactly 9 months, you know, and 9 is the number that completes a cycle, you know. So the breath of life is the ether. The ether is within you, you know. That's your soul, your spirit, you know. Those plasma is ionized gases, you know, energy. You know, if you ever go to a gas pump and you're pumping gas, if you really just focus enough, you can see the fumes and the energy moving around, you know, the pump, you know, because it's there, you know. Just like the ether, which will be, you know, a metaphor. Ether is real, but the metaphor which I'm using as an analogy is us as devices, just like the technology we use. And the ether is our Wi-Fi, which connects us to source, you know. The earth is filled with a grid of ley lines, you know, energy fields, positive and negative spots, you know. Your body consists of, which we call 7 chakras, energy fields of the body, which are completely turning in 360 degrees, you know, through the body, you know, based upon how you're thinking, your emotions, you know, is how those chakras light up, which creates an aurora around you, you know. It's like a rainbow, you know. And if you stare at the sun, you sun gaze, you know, you will see all the 7 colors of the light spectrum, you know. And it's very interesting, you know. That's why it's key to learn your chakras, you know, your body, you know, your host, your temple, you know. And everything is connected, as above, so below. The macro prosophis is above, the micro prosophis is below, because we are the microorganisms and the hosts of the Elohim. And like I said before, you know, we are to be lights and reflections, you know. Something I was looking at the other day talking about the chakras, you know. Now I'm to the point where I'm learning the sound vibrational sounds that go with the 7 chakras. I'm on the first 3. Root chakra, it says lam, the long lam sound. So, and it tells you to hold your hands in this type of signal. And then the sacral chakra, which would be orange, which deals with passion and creativity, you know, the sound is vam. You know, you say long vom sound, and then whatever symbol, you know. I have a chart which I'm going off of, but what I'm saying right now is by heart. But it shows you all the stuff on the chart. And then the next one, now, this is where I'm getting at with it. The next one is Ram. You know, Ram deals with the solar plexus chakra, the sun within, yellow. And that solar plexus chakra deals with personal power and confidence. Now what I'm trying to say is, in the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon, it talks about the sun's name being Shemesh, you know, and in the book of Enoch it says that the name of the sun is Tomas. But you know, what I'm doing is I'm following consistency and pattern, and I'm basically bringing things together that correlate with each other, you know, correspond with each other, you know, because everything is in duality. So that's how I find the truth, you know. I follow consistencies and pattern. So back to that 3rd chakra, you had the root chakra, which is red, and it deals with survival and security. Then you have the sacral chakra, which is orange, you know, that deals with passion and creativity, the creative organ, you know, reproduction organ, you know. And I told you that it says lam, vam, and then to the solar plex chakra, which is color of sun, yellow, it says ram. So when I go back to Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon, it talks about Shemesh being the name of the son. Enoch, it says the name of the son is Thomas. So what I'm saying is, I told you about the 3 names in Israel. Isis, going back to Genesis, the generations of Isis, the genealogy of Isis. Ra being the central star in the universe, the sun, the plasma giver, that sends the signals, the ether, that connects to the body. And El, Elohim, the plural, the more than one, So what I'm saying is, why is the sound that goes with the solar plex chakra Ram? Ra, Ram. Ra, Ram is Ra, El. So you learn something new every day. It's interesting to me, because what's the odds in that? You think that's just a coincidence? So, but that's how you wake that chakra up, so if you meditate and, the key to this whole process is visualization, I was always told, when you want to astral project or you want to tap into the Akashic Records, you have to visualize a light spectrum around your pineal gland as if it's a tunnel of light, and and you're traveling. It's a whole process to get into that state, but that's why we're going into the Akashic Records again today, and we're going to talk more about that. But the visualization, you have to visualize these chakras, these energy fields. You have to visualize their colors, them turning, what they deal with, what your actual host, temple, and vessel is feeling in the process of this visualization, and actually the stance and posture you're in. It's this movie or show on Netflix. It's called OA, but it shows you how they tapped into, this, they were trapped, this doctor, he basically tricked people, lured them in, and did these experiments on them in the house, kept them locked up in the basement, and basically showed that they don't die. They can come out of that bondage by basically working together in unison, and they had to do these movements while they were reciting something together, kind of like what it says in the Bible, when 2 or more are gathered in the name, the Hashem, of Hamashiach, he's present, so it's basically when 2 or more, so one person couldn't do this, 2 or more had to come together and recite it at the same time and do the same movements, and say the same thing. So what I'm saying is, in that sound vibrational frequency, when you're meditating, you're visualizing these chakras moving, you understand what they mean, you're doing the movements that comes with the chakras, and you're reciting the sound vibrational frequency, just like you say Yah, Hey, Va, Hey, or any of the syllables and a combination of 3 of the Hebrew alphabet. They unlock divine frequencies, within yourself. They bring blessings, protections, healing, and so on and so on. It gets real deep, so what I'm saying is that solar plex chakra is Ram. That's the sound that you would use when you're saying it, and Ram, it goes back to Ra, the sun, Soul, Ra. See how it says Soul, Ra, Soul, solar system, solar plexus, soul. The soul is energy. It is ether. The sun, plasma, and ether. What pumps through your body, and that blood, that plasma, that's the key, So remember that, I just wanted to put that out there, because I've been connecting a lot of dots lately. I've been working a lot lately, so I ain't been able to make as many videos, but if I can just do at least 1 a week, and if I have 1 subscriber, I'm grateful for that. Another thing I learned, these mantras, or affirmations, you always say I am, like a higher shah high, you say I am, I am truth, I am light, I am righteousness, I am going to fulfill this thing, I am going to do that. You speak these things into existence, believe it or not, because you're a reflection of the Most High. And then beginning in the 7 days creation, Most High spoke things into existence. He said, let there be light, and there was light. And that's why Jesus always talks about in the Bible, if you believe on my name, or you believe in the things in which I've done, you would do greater things. You will work the same things in which I have, and work even greater wonders. Based upon that belief. Because if you don't believe, you have doubt and discouragement, and you cannot unlock anything with doubt and discouragement. You get deterred, you get discouraged, and you doubt yourself, you second guess yourself, you're not believing, because your whole imagination, you've been told that things were false, or if you believe on these things, they are crazy. That was your disconnection from your spirituality. You have to imagine, you have to visualization is very key in all of these spiritual practices. Believe it or not, you have to visualize, you have to see things. And you have to believe in order to achieve. So it is very key that you do that, in order for you to tap into these things, unlock these things, and work these great wonders. It's not an easy task. People spend all their life going to college, learning this and that, for things that pertain to the world. The things of the spirit, you have to be less in the flesh and more in the spirit. So if you're in the spirit, you are constantly studying on spiritual things, how to unlock these things. You are not just no simple, ordinary human being. Human, when you go into the Anunnaki text, it's not spelled Human. The short Hu comes from Hue. Human. Human means God, man. But the only way you tap into the divine frequency of the God is you follow a law. A law is something that is placed in order that protects you. It deals with blessings and curses. If you break the law, you get a curse. It's just like you break the physical law in this world, you will go to jail. You will be put in bondage. You'll be taken away from the rest of society. So if you break the law of the Most High, which is cause and effect, which deals with salvations and judgments. Whole Bible is talking about salvations and judgments, do's and don'ts, the cause and effect of actions and behavior. It also says you will know them by their fruits. The fruits mean what you are producing, based upon your consistency and pattern, your actions and your behavior. So it's very key that you are mindful and aware of all these things in which you are doing. You have to be less in the flesh and more in the spirit. And you have to start looking eternal. I was reading my chakra post, and it says try to see with your eye without your eyes. So when it's saying try to see with your eyes and without your eyes, it's talking about your inner eye. Your inner eye is that visualization, that sensory. The third eye deals with intuition, and on the chakra board, and intuition deals with your eternal essence. It's all eternal. It's within you, and there's an organ within your head that looks like an eye. Kind of look like the eye of Horus, but it's turned to the side right here in the middle of pineal gland. And like it says in Genesis, Jacob saw God face to face in pineal. Pineal is what it's talking about. It's talking about within himself. God, Jacob saw God face to face within, in pineal, in his intuitive wishing. He seen God, make up, in God's, ways. You tap into the God particle when you follow laws of cause and effect, and there are many. They have 42 laws of Ma'at. Just because it's written in Egyptian. Egyptian is not even a real name for Egypt. Egypt comes from the Greek word Egyptos, but it's called the land of ancient Kemet, but also known as Mizraim, you know. So I take a little bit from everywhere because everything came from a source. It's just passed down from different cultures and revised, you know, just like the Bible you have now, the revised version, you know, this is just something that was taken. But if you really look at the pattern and you think and see with your eye, without your eyes, you can actually decode, which means discern, you know, the metaphors, allegories, and figurative language that the Bible speaks of. A lot of people say, oh, it contradicts itself. Well, how could it say this and say that? Because people are taking things literal in a carnal mind, you know. Why you think when the Messiah was always talking, nobody could really comprehend what he was saying? Because he was talking in these codes, you know. He basically talking from that inner essence. He's not talking what you physically comprehend, you know. That's why he told the Pharisees, the kingdom that you're seeking for, you know, people think it's going to come out the sky, you know. Well, it does talk about that in the book of Revelation, but it talks about the New Jerusalem coming out the sky, you know. New Jerusalem is talking about that crystal city, you know, with 4 sides and 3 entrances per side, you know, for each of the 12 tribes. So 3 tribes, 3 tribes, 3 tribes, 3 tribes. And, you know, the elect make up, you know, that's why it says 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes of Israel. Isis, Ra, El, you know, the children of light, Shemash, you know, Shemash, the sun, you know, light, those carbon melanated 9 ether beings, you know. It's not to say like, oh, that it's talking about, it is talking about race, but it's basically talking, when it's talking about melanin, it's talking about the original man, you know. Every color comes out of the original man, you know. Black can create every color, just like it was shown before that, you know, 2 Caucasian people cannot lay down and have a black baby, but 2 black people can lay down and have a blue-eyed, albino, woolly-haired child, you know. It's in the genetics because it's the original source, you know. That's what it means, you know. 9 ether beings, which we will call Israelites, you know, children of light, you know, the original man, you know, Africa, which you know as Ethiopia, that would be the original name, but Ethiopia comes from the ether people. That's what it means, the ether people, children of the sun, you know. And, you know, 6 ethers are basically, it's just an upside down 9. It's basically the other particle of mankind. And what it's talking about in here, it's talking about attributes, you know, the attributes opposing force, you know, how one group goes about it and how the other group goes about it, how one group subdued another group, you know, how one group will overcome the subduing of this other group, you know. It's going to be a spiritual revival, you know, that's talking about. That's what those valley of dry bones and those bones live in, or those that lie dead in the market street for 3.5 days, you know. It's talking about a period of time. See, if you read that as an actual 3.5 days, some people actually just take it for that, you know. Some people can't really have the time. That's why when you read the Bible, you have to meditate, you know. You have to talk to the internal essence. You have to talk to God and ask, what's that mean, you know. Believe it or not, you meditate on it long enough, you know, the spirit is going to take you somewhere else and confirm one thing in another place that you're seeing in this place, you know. So remember that. So let's get into the Akashic Records. You know, the Akashic Records by Melissa Gomes. You know, we're going into chapter 3. You know, it says, accessing your Akashic Records do's and don'ts. So let's get right into it. Akashic Records are the trace of all that has ever happened in the universe. The Akashic Records are like a huge library containing every event, thought, and feeling ever since the beginning of time. The records contain the history of every soul, including our thoughts and feelings on any subject. Each thought or feeling is stored permanently in the form of energy. Every person's Akashic records can be accessed by them at any time to view their personal history and experience. But remember these ground rules, as there are some definite do's and don'ts in connecting with your Akashic records. No one can access your Akashic records without your explicit consent. If you do not wish to view a particular segment of your Akashic records for any reason, it will be closed off to the readers until the time comes that you are ready to see this portion of yourself. It may be difficult or impossible for readers to access your records if something in your energy field does not want them to read a part of it. However, once this energy has been neutralized, that portion will be opened in your Akashic records for all to see. Someone who knows how to open Akashic records can access yours, and you can learn to open your own. No one may throw out information from your Akashic records if you do not want certain information revealed. Then the owner of that energy will have to deal with it himself. People often do not remember why they had a certain feeling or thought at a particular point in their lives, but it will be obvious when they see the records for themselves. You should be very careful about what goes into your energy field. Your thought patterns as the next reader of your Akashic records may not be aware of this type of projection as you are. Keep in mind that others will read your records, and if they do not understand what has been imprinted there, they may try to correct the impression left on your energy field. It would be best if you learned how to prevent other people from entering your Akashic records. As the owner of your energy, you have a right to make sure that only you read it and that others do not try to change what is there. If someone else does try to enter your Akashic records, they must first ask permission from your energy or wait until you allow them entrance, And believe it or not, energy is very key. Just like you have people that want to zap your energy. They come around you with negative vibrations and frequencies, and you get these gut feelings about them, or, somebody rubs you the wrong way, and if you're not in tune and fully aware of what's happening in real time, you can be caught off guard and you can be sucked into that. You can get your energy zapped, but if you're not following a law or a structure on how to deal with people, places, and things, you can be very vulnerable and subject to attack, and people can drain you from your assets, they can drain you from your food, they can drain you from, being able to do for yourself because you're always doing for them, There has to be boundaries, and everything is about balance. So remember that, just like even when you go to work, you work for currency. You get currency from the energy exchange, It's very key. Adults age 18 and over are allowed access to the Akashic records. Children have not had enough experience in life to bear what they may find on their records. Parents, when your children reach the age of 18, then this information should be given to them. A child's Akashic records will automatically be sealed until they are adult and ready for whatever knowledge it holds. If a child has died before this age, then their Akashic records will be sealed as well. Psychics and mediums may not reveal information from the records to others outside their profession without your permission. Do not allow psychics or fortune tellers to read your Akashic records unless you have checked their references and you are certain of the work they do. If you choose to use a psychic medium make sure that this person is trained to work with the Akashic Records, provide a certification of their credentials. Within the Akashic Records, confidentiality is needed and irreversible. All information within the Akashic Records must be kept hidden from everyone, including your closest friends. No one outside of a professional reader of the records may know anything about what is in that person's records except the owner. However, if you have shared intimate details with a person who has since passed on, you may be surprised to find them telling someone else in the records. You may be able to tell someone else in the records this is not the fault of the Akashic Records. Reader, it is a natural phenomenon and one which you need to be aware of. If you share intimate personal details with anyone other than yourself or your professional reader, a trained professional Akashic readers who has a certificate of credentials, there are some secrets that you may not be comfortable having revealed even to your psychic or medium. It is always the owner's choice whether or not he wishes to make something confidential within his records. A professional reader can only reveal information on the outer levels of information and an unopened record, but cannot know anything about the inner levels of information without the permission of the owner or the court order. The questions and issues highlighted by the person whose Akashic records have been opened are addressed in an Akashic record reading. Alright, I gotta go upstairs, y'all, because kids, they're starting to be loud. Hold on. Sorry about that. Try to go in quiet places and make these videos, but once kids come in, you know, they just naturally loud. Information may be revealed within the Akashic Records, but only issues and questions relevant to the person who has had their records open will be addressed. The Akashic Records should not be open for entertainment purposes. Akashic Records readings are never done as part of a group reading. Each individual must have an opportunity to ask their questions and receive answers accordingly. A professional reader can access Akashic Records for educational purposes, but only after the owner of that particular record has been permitted to do so. The Akashic Records are not intended for others' curiosity. The rules governing information in the Akashic Records are the same rules that govern private conversations within a person's home. If you do not want others to overhear what you are saying, then keep your voice down. Conversations in the Akashic Records that should be kept private include personal information concerning other people, secrets, intimate details of one's personal life. Knowledge of Akashic Records is not to be shared with others. Business information, knowledge that could damage other people's careers, or secrets of any kind to which you were privy in your lifetime. Information about crimes, especially violent crimes and murders, should be kept hidden within the Akashic Records if you have been a witness to that crime. Information may be revealed within the records about events that you were involved in, but which was not relevant at your time. Information that is now time to reveal should be discussed within your professional reader before this can occur. Your questions are the basis for an Akashic record reading. The professional reader may sometimes throw out a question, but the Akashic records will always respond to your questions first. Akashic records readings help you focus on the most important issues in your life at this time. While some information within the Akashic records can be life-changing, it is not meant to take the place of your intuition. There is no need to ask questions that you already know the answers to. Akashic records are not created for teaching history. They deal with events in the present and future, and they affect people's living today. It is a waste of time to ask about things that happened in the past. You can always search for that information yourself. Akashic records readings are not based on astrology, numerology, or any other esoteric tarot cards. These disciplines may enhance your understanding and enable you to interpret what goes on during the Akashic records readings. Still, they should not be used for the basis of information in a reading. Akashic record readings are always given concerning the person whose records have been opened. The Akashic records will reveal only what we need or want to know, no more and no less. They do not give out all the knowledge in the universe, but only what is relevant to us at this point. A professional reader must be a non-judgmental person. They will not judge the person whose records have been opened and who therefore may receive information that they do not want to hear. Your legal name is important. Names are very important identifiers in the Akashic records. People who are known in their lifetimes will often have information about them revealed within the Akashic records, but only if that person is of public interest during their lifetime. People who make a difference in their community have information available about them within their Akashic records. People who are famous, infamous, or notorious will need to be clarified before opening their records. Always use your legal name when opening your records. Do not use your nicknames or your middle name. People who are searching for information about themselves using their legal names will find their Akashic records without any problem. Mind-altering substances such as drugs and alcohol can impede you. Drugs and alcohol distort your perception of reality. It may not be clear either to you or the professional reader if your sense of reality is distorted. This can cause errors in an Akashic records reading. Opening your Akashic records in this state is disrespectful to your spirit guides and an insult to the Akashic records. It is best not to open them at all. If you must do so, please wait until later or have a friend read for you with no drugs or alcohol in your system. Prescription meds for your physical health do not affect the results of an Akashic records reading. Mixing rituals isn't the best approach. Opening your Akashic records should not be integrated with other rituals you also practice. Akashic records readings are a personal experience. When other spiritual rituals and practices are combined, it can make the insights confusing for you and even your professional reader. Akashic record readings do not replace therapy or remedy a situation. The information revealed in an Akashic records reading will not be enough to fix a situation or help to solve a problem for you. You must deal with these situations and problems using all the available tools, including therapy. Problems are often generated when people think that opening their records will be a shortcut to solving their issues. It is not. Do not ask what's going to happen in the future. The general rule is that the Akashic records are not used to predict the future events. It is rare for information of this sort to be revealed in an Akashic record reading. And such information is revealed, it is never complete nor exact. No one's life can ever be broken down into neat sequences of time. Our future will always be affected by the choices we make and those around us. The Akashic records are the history of our life energy. They are not a crystal ball. When reading the records, it is critical to immerse yourself in the experience. It would be best if you spent enough time with your records to get the best results. Reading a few pages or skimming through them will probably not provide you with any aha moments. You should allow yourself some quiet time to relax and read and look at things in your records as if you were reading a book you've been waiting to read for a long time. The entities and the roles in the Akashic realm. There are beings that you will encounter when you open your Akashic records. They perform specific roles in the Akashic realm, and some will assist you personally. These entities responsible for writing or recording your life story will help you tap into the information of your record. Other guides and energy beings in the realm affect how you view that information once it appears before you. Most of these entities are not strangers to you. In fact, they may be very familiar friends and family members in your everyday existence. As you tap into your Akashic record, it is helpful to know that the names of some of those beings that assist you on this journey. The Divine Creator created our universe and all life forms within it. The Lord of the Records are huge beings that surround your guardian entities. They do not interfere in anything that is going on with your life, but they are there as a backup and to help protect you. They can also be called upon when needed by someone who has made contact with the Akashic realm. The guardian entity watches over your Akashic records. It will answer any of your questions and show you exactly what you need to see when using your Akashic record. The being of light is the one who will actually be showing you the actual memories and experiences from your past lives. It will have its own personality, so try not to direct it too much, but let it do what it does best, showing things in an orderly fashion. Your Blu-ray master is there to help you understand any information that may be too difficult or complex for you to understand. It will also translate in words anything the being of light shows you during your session. The Ascended Masters are there as a support group just in case anything goes wrong with your session, and they can give you a little bit of their own energy if needed. These are Ascended Masters from different traditions, including Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, and many more. The group's soul from the Pleiades are masters of energy and information. This is why they are assigned to translate what you see and hear into a form that you can understand. Otherwise, it would be too confusing because nobody speaks in riddles when viewing their Akashic records. Your higher self is your own higher soul. It is your connection with the divine creator, and it will come to you when you make contact with the Akashic Records to show that you are to touch with your own divine essence. Your other lives guidance team includes all those who have worked together in previous lives to help each other evolve into their greatest potential. They will also be there to help you understand the many nuances of your Akashic record that may otherwise be too difficult for you to grasp. You can call upon any of all of these you can call upon any or all of these entities when making contact with your own personal Akashic records, as they are indeed members of your soul family. Good preparation will enhance the experience of accessing your records and help you get information relevant to you today. Remember, when you access your records, whatever is contained within them will be awakened for the assess period. The more you are in the energy of love, peace, and joy, the more you will consciously experience a stress-free life. If you wish to access your records, it is important that you feel good about yourself and do not have any negative feelings or experiences about yourself. To access this information, you must first open your Akashic records by connecting with your higher self. After opening up to higher guidance, it is possible to access any person's Akashic records or any historical event simply by asking for it. There are 3 steps involved in accessing these records. 1. Connecting with spirit. 2. Opening your own Akashic record. 3. Accessing another person's Akashic record. The process begins by connecting with the spirit through meditation, prayer, and other spiritual practices so that you can receive guidance from your higher self. You can also open the records through intense visualization and intention by imagining a bright light in your third eye area representing your connection with spirit. The next step is to ask your higher self if it is possible to access any historical information on a specific person or event. If yes, you must state what you want to know and then ask if you can have permission. You may even be given a date that is of importance, as this relates to the time when the information was imprinted into the Akashic records, and you may be told that no such record exists yet because the information has not been released by either yourself through collective consciousness or from spirit in the form of a dream or prophecy. When it is time to access another person's Akashic records, you must first ask your higher self if it is possible. Often the request will involve that you have permission from the individual in question before accessing this information. It is also possible that they have not yet asked spirit for permission to access their Akashic records, since they may not be ready to face the information within them. Once you have received permission by either yourself or from the person in question, then ask your higher self for a date of birth, name, place of birth, and any other relevant details about that individual. You may also be shown symbols and colors which will help you access the right Akashic records. The symbols and colors will be different for each person, so you need to know what they should look like when connecting with your higher self. When opening up another person's Akashic records, it may feel odd, as this is an unaccustomed way of thinking and perceiving, but it is only your ego that will be concerned about this and not your higher self. Once you have experienced the information for yourself, it will help to raise your level of consciousness. It is important to remember that when you are accessing another person's Akashic records, then they are always present in a way that feels more powerful than in your normal waking state of consciousness. There are some basic guidelines that you need to follow when accessing the Akashic records. Firstly, it is important to remember that you cannot change anything once you have seen something by accessing a person's Akashic records. Hence, it is best not to ask or look for things that could be personally hurtful or damaging. For example, you should not ask to see person's future if you know that it will be bad for them somehow. It is best not to access another person's Akashic records unless permitted, since your higher self may give you information without their knowledge, leading to problems later on in the relationship. Also, remember not to access the Akashic records of children or newborn babies, since they have not yet experienced enough life to form meaningful connections with their actions. Therefore, it would be an invasion of privacy. It is also important not to ask questions about others without permission. The information you receive from your higher self will always be true, but there may be a slightly distorted version of it for the sake of your learning. So check before you proceed. Finally, bear in mind that when connecting with the Akashic records, there is always an energetic presence of both yourself and another person involved, even though they are not physically present at the time. It is also possible to access other people's Akashic records in the future after gaining experience and ability, although this comes with a warning. If you access someone's Akashic records too often, you may alter their destiny, since they created it themselves through free will. You have now gained an insight into how to access information within the Akashic records safely, so I urge you never to be afraid of what you might find, since it will only serve to enlighten you. So that's that chapter of the Akashic records. You know, we're gonna keep proceeding, going on forward, and I want to show you guys something real quick. Alright, right here is what I was telling you, awakening the chakras. You know, make sure you guys see it. Yeah, see right there how it says awakening the chakras, and it's showing you the different signs, right? Alright, right here, you see these are the sound vibrations. See, the first one, the root chakras, is going from up to down, but the root chakra comes from below. But this is just to show you, and you know, looking in for the first time. You know, the sound vibration for this one, you see, is Lam, the root chakra. You know, and it's showing you the movement of sign of what you would use when unlocking that. The next one would be Vam, which would be the sacral chakra, as I was saying. And now to the third one would be the solar plexus chakra, which is Ram. Now you see what I was trying to say. Hold on, I'm trying to show you up close. But you see what I was trying to say with the Ram sound. The solar plexus chakra deals with the sun. The sun is the plasma giver. Sol Ra, Israel, Isis Ra, and El. You know, the sun, Shemash, the children of light, children of Shem. You know, you see that the sound vibrational frequency that goes with that is Ra Ra'am. So Ra'am deals with the solar plexus chakra. You know, I found that very interesting because, you know, what a coincidence, you know. And up here it goes into like balancing the chakras, chakra knowledge, you know, different movements you use. Believe it or not, this is where yoga comes from. Now right here, oh, this is the part right here where it was saying try to see more with your eye and less with your eyes, you know. And it's talking about that spiritual eye, you know. Yeah, it says it right there. It says try to see more with your eye and less with your eyes, you know. And awakening those chakras, you know. Mudras and mantras, you know. The root chakra deals with the sound vibration of lime. The sacral chakra, which is, you know, orange, it deals with the sound vibration of bam. And the solar plex chakra, which is orange, it deals with the sound vibrational frequency of Ram. You know, the heart chakra, which is green, it deals with the sound vibrational frequency of Yam. And you know, you say this in a long sound. You know, the throat chakra, which is blue, it deals with the sound vibrational frequency of Ham. And the throat chakra is which deals with communications, wrath or kindness, you know, speaking in duality. The third eye chakra is like a purplish color, and it deals with the sound vibrational frequency of Am. And then you got the crown chakra, which is violet, and it deals with the sound vibrational frequency of Am. You know, so Am, like Am, that's where you get the kind of the sound Ta Sa, which I learned out of the secrets of the secret wisdom, the book of secret wisdom. I did a couple videos on my channel about that. And right here, that's my father. He was a boxer, you know. So I just wanted to show y'all. But yeah, I got a fighting spirit, you know. It's in my DNA and RNAs, and that's me, you know. So remember, sound is very key, movements is very key, meditation, visualization, it all goes hand in hand. Alright, peace and blessings. Y'all bless. Salah, I'm out of here.